Oh yeah, I'm back. What is up, you guys? It is Zach, and welcome back to my channel. Now, today, we're going to be talking about my 5 hopes for Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon Remastered. I will give you guys a forewarning. I am sick, so my voice probably is a little off, and I'm probably going to be doing a lot of cuts because I'm probably going to be choking my head off during those cuts, so my apologies, but I wanted to make sure to get content out to you guys, especially because I know a lot of you are excited for Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon Remastered. If you are, definitely drop a like down below, of course, and comment what your hopes are for Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon Remastered. And if you haven't done so already, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell so you're notified of when I upload to the channel. We are about 100 subscribers away from 5,000 subscribers. Y'all are insane. If we can get to 5,000 by the end of the summer, or at least like the summer in the northern hemisphere, that would be absolutely insane. I would absolutely love it, and hopefully we can make it happen. So without any further ado, you guys, let's get into my 5 big hopes for Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon's Remaster. I'm going to start off with one that is not really a hope, but it's something I really want them to focus a lot on. Now, the reason why I'm saying it's not really a hope, it's because they've already promised they're going to do it, and that is improving the visuals. The visuals are very important to me because if you look at a game like Luigi's Mansion 3, this game looks visually amazing. It has such good animation, such good graphics, the Luigi model is great. Everything about this game just oozes charm in the way it looks, and I don't know, I really like how this game looks, especially in its darker, spookier areas. Now, of course, since it's just a port, kind of, up-res port of Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, I'm not expecting the animations to be as fluid. I'm not expecting, like, a crazy overhaul, but there are 3 main things I'm expecting, with improvements to the visuals department. The first of which being I'm expecting completely updated textures and models. Now, we're already seeing a little bit of that with the new Luigi model that we're seeing here, and the textures looking a little bit different throughout the mansion, as we can see, but I really want them to go all out. I want Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon on Switch to be almost unrecognizable. Not in like a different way, but like an improved way, with everything just having so much more life to it and textures and polish. Things in Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon look kind of blocky in ways, with how the jagged edges are because of the low resolution of the Nintendo 3DS. I want them to smooth things out, make things look better, update some of the models if need be. And then of course the texture work, add some new textures, make things look not as flat. I think that's basically a given. It's something that I don't really need to explain any more than that, but you never know, it is something I want to point out. The second thing, which is something I want them to incorporate from the first game, is particle effects. Now, Luigi's Mansion 3 did not have any particle effects, but for that game, I can kind of understand why. It's a new hotel. It's not an old, abandoned, haunted location. It's just a hotel that ghosts happen to run. So in that game, it kind of makes sense, but the original game, it was a haunted mansion. It was a creepy haunted mansion, so of course there's going to be dust and particles flying around. Wherever Luigi walks, you see dust kicking up from his feet. It makes sense in this game, and it also makes sense in Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon as well. These houses are all haunted, abandoned buildings. EGAD has set up camp there, kind of, but that doesn't change the fact that these are haunted and abandoned houses, Especially because in Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, there's literally a whole mansion devoted to sand. Having cool effects of Luigi kicking up sand whenever he walks. Like, there's so much they could do in terms of particle effects. It's a small detail, but I do think it would do a lot to give that game that little more polish that you couldn't get on the 3DS. Make it truly a definitive, visually, give it that visual splendor of 3 while retaining the charm of Dark Moon, while also adding the cool particle effects from 1. It's a great way to blend all 3 games, and having the particle effects, I think it's just an obvious one. This last point is, again, another kind of homage to the first game, but improve the lighting a bit. Now, again, this is something they couldn't really do because of the 3DS limitations, but improve some of the shadows and everything in the environments, maybe have the lights be a little more dim and yellowed and, maybe flickering a little bit. Just improving that little thing to just add some ambience to the rooms, because you look at Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon and, you're not really creeped out while you're walking through these rooms, They're very clean, very bright. if you add some mood lighting, you know, dim the lights a little bit, making it a little bit flashy, even in the lit up rooms, it could add that little bit of difference to the visuals that, you know, even if some things aren't textured as well, decreasing the lighting a little bit can really spruce things up and make it look really good. So those are my main points about the visuals. I know there was a lot in this one section and the rest of them won't be as detailed as this one, but given that they are focusing a lot on the visuals for this game, I did want to spend a lot of time talking about this point. This second point is actually also really important. They gotta bring back the Scare Scraper. I actually really liked Scare Scraper in Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon. It was a thing that really kept bringing me back. Literally before I got a Switch, I'd only played Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon story mode once, but I always kept coming back to the Scare Scraper because it was a lot of fun. Especially compared to Luigi's Mansion 3 Scare Scraper, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon Scare Scraper is honestly better in a lot of ways. It feels more balanced, like if you go in and play by yourself, you know, if you don't have anyone to play with you, it actually does feel possible. You're not stressing out about not being able to complete the first couple floors. And then also, there's just more customization options about how you can play. You could choose what kind of floors that you can face. You could choose certain things about your gameplay. And I just think Scare Scraper thrived from that in Dark Moon, and not to mention, it gives people another incentive to pick up this game again. It's got a cool multiplayer mode. You know, I know it's the same as Luigi's Mansion 3, that also has Scare Scraper, but it could be something to incentivize people, you know? And while we're talking about extra modes, maybe add another new one. You know, something that I think would be really cool is having a hard mode / new game plus. Maybe after you beat Dark Moon, you know, there's another thing you could do in there. Maybe adding an extra mission to each mansion once you beat the game that you can go back and do, or like a free roam mode. There's just so many different kinds of things they could add to give Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon a little more value for people who've already played the game and give them more reason to come and give it another go. You know, like having those extra modes or, you know, bringing back Scare Scraper could bring back older fans who maybe didn't care for the story as much and need something else to incentivize them to return. So yeah, Scare Scraper, New Game Plus, or Hard Mode, whichever, I think any of those are a good addition to also have alongside of the main story. Alright, so these next 2 points, I'm going to openly admit, are pretty small details, but I do think they are also pretty important ones as well. Well, more so this one being important. And that is, for this one, having a brightness setting or a brightness slider that you can adjust in the pause menu. Of course, this was included in Luigi's Mansion 3, but it didn't make as much of a difference as I really wanted it to, and I would hope that they do more with it here, because some people like to play Luigi's Mansion in a different way. For some people, lighting is everything. Having it be darker so that your flashlight really serves a purpose actually means something to a decent amount of players, and that's where I fall. Some people don't care about the lighting, and that's fine too. Just let us play how we want to play, and for that, having a brightness slider could really do that. And I just want to add to that, if you're going to do that like you did with Luigi's Mansion 3, please let us adjust the brightness in handheld mode as well. You couldn't do that with Luigi's Mansion 3. For some reason, the brightness settings were only able to be adjusted when playing in docked mode. I have no clue why they did that. That was such a stupid thing. Let us do it in both handheld and docked, please. Just let us do it, please. Alright, this next one is a really small detail, but I actually do think it could be important for a reason I'm going to say. So you have the Luigi's Mansion series, right? You have 1, Dark Moon, and 3. In the rest of the world, it's 1, 2, and 3. And I think that worldwide, it should be 2. I think that when they release this game, they should just call it Luigi's Mansion 2. The main reason being, let's say someone hasn't played Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon, doesn't know what Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon is. They know Luigi's Mansion 3 because they have a Switch. They see a game called Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon coming out on the Switch, they might think, oh, it's a new game, because they don't know what it is. Adding the 2 clarifies that no, this comes before 3, and just makes it a little more marketable, in my personal opinion. You could say Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon Remastered, whatever, but I still think unifying the title, having it be the same title worldwide, just makes it a little bit easier. Plus also, I think subtitles are dumb. Like, unless it's like you're getting to the point where you have so many entries to where subtitles are needed, I don't think... It's Luigi's Mansion 2. Just call it Luigi's Mansion 2 and be done with it. It'll look nicer, and especially if you bring the original Luigi's Mansion to the Switch as well, I think it would just be nice to have Luigi's Mansion 2, and Luigi's Mansion 3 all in a row, and it would just look natural and not weird having the second game having a subtitle and the third game having a number. Like don't do anything like that. Just call it 2 and move on. Alright, this last one is a big one, and it's one I addressed in my last video, but I want to change/explain what I mean by this. Now, I think they should either get rid of or modify the mission structure. What I mean by this is I think people interpreted what I'm saying is Luigi shouldn't go back to the lab. And that's not really what I mean. I mean, Luigi goes back to the lab in every single game. Like, it's part of the gameplay. I don't mean that. I just mean EGAD shouldn't interrupt you as much to bring you back to the lab for pointless reasons. Let me give you an example. In Haunted Towers, in the pool party mission, right? You get the key, and then Polterpup steals it. And you're ready to go. You're like, right, this dog just stole this key. I want to go and grab it now. But no, EGAD sucks you back to the lab just because. You know, like, it feels pointless. Why not just let you continue? So I would say, make those 2 missions. 1, go up to the thing, get the key from the top of the pool, then go to Polterpup, get the key from Polterpup. It's all bent. Go back to the lab, fix it. That's, you know, if you want to keep the mission structure, fine, but just make it less obnoxious. Take out all the stupid calls, or at least give us an option to not have EGAD call us and tell us every little thing. Like, I don't know, there's got to be some way to make it so that it's way less annoying. If you want me to do a video detailing how I would structure the game, you know, given the missions that we have throughout the game, I can do that if that's something that people would be interested in. I feel like that'd be a really boring video, but if you want me to go through Dark Moon, through every single mission, and structure it in a way that I think would work better on the Nintendo Switch, let me know. I can do that, but I don't want to say too much here because, like, most of you know Dark Moon, and you kind of get what I'm saying. Those meaningless missions where it's like, right, you don't have to be sucked back to the lab here. Like, just get rid of all of that. Get rid of that padding. Just let us explore. Give us more freedom, and I think that's the best way you can make Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon's Remaster a welcome addition to the Nintendo Switch. So there you have it. Those are my hopes for Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon Remastered, but you guys left some comments as well about what you guys hope for Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon Remastered. I'm going to go through and read a handful of the comments because there was actually quite a few of you that left comments there, and I'll read them out. So without any further ado, let's get reading the comments. Dervaruct Gamer 1659, hopefully I pronounced that right, says that you can choose between the Nintendo 3DS movement, 1 joystick, and the Switch movement, 2 joysticks. NJH Productions 512 says, I hope there's a darkness setting. Colemonger 1887 says King Boo DLC, showing his side of how he actually escaped this painting after Professor EGAD sold it at a garage sale. Pikachu Lover 0927 says the ghosts being more transparent, more dust, the lighting needs to be darkened, extra story content, and EGAD shouldn't interrupt gameplay when he calls you. I promise, Pikachu Lover, I did not steal all your ideas. Adam Hosford 6580 says, for me, I would just say scrap the mission system, but I grew up with Dark Moon and don't mind too many things about the game. And lastly, Nicholas Conkle 4841 says maybe they could improve some of the boss fights like the stairs and the clock face one, and especially the ice monster one, or maybe they could add a character ghost for each mansion, kind of like the Three Sisters. So there you have it, guys. Sorry if I'm sounding really off in this video. I feel like the flow of this video is just not going well, but I'm just sick. I'm sorry. I can't help it. I promise I'll be back to normal soon, and videos will be less chaotic and weird. I don't know, maybe this one's normal when I edit it. I don't know. I was literally coughing my head off for at least 5 minutes of this footage, so hopefully it all comes together well. So Thank you guys so much for watching this video. If you do enjoy, definitely like, comment, and subscribe, all that jazz down below. And of course, hit that notification bell so you're notified of when I upload videos. And check out the merch store. There's some cool ZakPak merch up on there for you to check out. And stay tuned. You guys might be getting some Luigi's Mansion 4 news in a little bit. Keep an eye out for that. Or I should say, the Concepts series news in a little bit. So keep an eye out for that when it comes out. So, until next time, you guys, I'll see you all in the next video.